Well, hello everybody. Happy Pi Day. Um, as you can see, I have my pie background. I also have a tiny, tiny little, probably terrible to eat pie that I picked up because I'm not really supposed to have pie. Anyway, um, gonna eat one anyway, or at least part of one. So, um, what are we gonna do tonight? Well, first, I want to thank everybody for coming to the stream. No, it is not fixed yet, Retro Techie. Um, Hopefully, we will remedy that before the end of the stream. Can you have some pie? Yes, you could go buy some pie or make some yourself. So, yes, you can have pie. 3.14. I know it's not very rational, but there you are. Anyway, um, so I wanted to point out that I have a contest going on right now. All you have to do is comment on the video that is titled MARCHintosh Major Award. So if you want a MARCHintosh T-shirt from Ron's computer videos, his mercantile, that's what I'm going to give out. So um, all you have to do is comment. You don't have to do anything else. And sometime during this month, I'll pick it up uh, and ship it. It could go to anybody that I could get it delivered to. That's not going to cost me $300 in taxes and whatever ridiculous shipping or something like that. So Europe, South America, Canada, all of North America. Yes, even the U.S. No, Retro Techie, you have not won yet. So, um, what else have we got going on? It's MARCHintosh. So we got that going on. I've already talked about that. It's Pi Day. So let's get into it. Okay. So let me switch screens here. Oop, I got the wrong mouse. There we go. So I need to get out of studio mode so I can see this screen because it's just the virtual screen. Yeah, move it over here so that I'm looking at the camera. If Adam wins, he said that you could have it. I highly doubt that. So, all right. So what we got here is working off of my Quadra 610, and I try to target all of the work so that it will run on a plus with 4 meg. So I still keep the screen sized for a classic Mac on these HyperCard stacks. Let's get into... Come on, you can read the drive. Still waiting on your cap kits from Console 5. Wow, it's been quite a while. That's disappointing. Okay, so the last video we had on animation, I went through 4 different common ways of doing animation in HyperCard. And what I'm going to do now is, it's not really a game, it's really more of a toy. Well, not this one. As you remember, we've got this cute little cat, Neko, and I use the idle loop that's in HyperCard to animate it. And the way it works right now, you click on him, and the hand cursor is the mouse. So the cat chases it around till he catches it, and then he'll either sit there and scratch, or fall asleep, or just sit there, based on some random random numbers that are generated. Okay, so eventually he goes to sleep, and then you can move the mouse around, and he's not going to chase it. If you click on him, he gets surprised and chases after you. If you click on the little house, the mouse went into the house. So now, if you look at like the version for the Palm Pilot 3, the way that behaves is you click somewhere on the screen and a mouse shows up there, and the cat runs after that mouse. Click somewhere else on the screen, the mouse shows up where you click, and he can catch the mouse and stuff. And I think I want to add the mouse to it and have it do that instead of the cursor. And the reason why is that I want to animate that mouse, and I tried using animation with the cursor itself, which you can do, but it's really chunky. It flashes a lot and it doesn't look very good. So what I'm going to do is create another button and animate that with a mouse. Probably tonight we're just going to do a single frame. I'm not going to animate it. I'll just get it in there and going. And then the mouse will play around with that icon. So what we're going to do, I did not prepare this ahead of time. I just thought about doing it. So this is going to be, might be a little painful to watch me remember how to code. So, but that's the nature of a live stream. All right. So one of the things we have to do is we have to go into the card info in the script, and I need to turn debug on so that I can mess around with things. Now, trying to remember who it was. Somebody found a bit of code that can be used to correct this problem I have with being able to type into fields while you're capturing using the idle event. And I haven't incorporated it yet, and I want to thank them. For the life of me, I can't remember who it was. I don't think they're in the stream tonight. Anyway, that's going to be great. I have to incorporate that in and do it. I'm not going to do that tonight. So we still have this problem where I have to do this. So I save the code. Come back to that screen. Okay, everything's kind of frozen. It's not really acting because I've got it ignoring it because debug is true. And that will allow me to create... Oh, yeah, it still runs. It just doesn't run very well. We can get the button tool here. We're going to draw a little button. And I think, did I create a font for the mouse? Or did I create an icon already? So we might have to edit an icon. Let's go look. Okay, so I don't think I have the mouse in here. So we're going to have to actually use the icon editor to draw this mouse. So you'll get to see that. Icon. Got one here I can edit that's blank. We are going to call it mouse 1. And we're going to draw a mouse. Now, I'm going to use another tool. Where did I put it? Going to open up a graphic. Because I do believe I have an image with a mouse. No, I don't. I'm going to have to pull in an image somewhere. Okay. Oh, here it is. No. Oh, it's a resource. That's right. I did a cursor. I already said that, didn't I? Ah. So we've got this nice little cursor we can use. So yes, there is a way to copy it. So we're going to copy it. Then I'm going to switch back over to HyperCard, and we're going to paste it in there. Now you see it's a lot smaller than I really need, but I don't want it to be as big as the cat. It would be kind of weird if it were. So what we're going to do is we're just going to center our mouse. Oh, I got to turn that one off. I got an extra pixel there. Okay, so we've got a mouse icon. There it shows up on the screen. It's kind of small, but yeah, it's not, you know, we have a small cat or a large mouse. So let's look at the properties. Yeah, I want it to be transparent. We're going to call it mouse. Okay. Doesn't do anything. You click on it, there's no action or anything. Nothing's going to happen with it. Okay. So what we want to do is capture the point we click somewhere on the window. Where Adam suggests that I do a stream video with him where I yell at him trying to teach him how to use his Apple II Plus. Oh no, that's Retro Techie yelling at Adam. Good, because I'm not very good at yelling at people. Although I do kind of like teaching. So let's take a second and see who we got in the stream. So we have Retro Techie, Everything is Broken Garage. Adam McGee is here. Who else do we have? Is that it? We might have a small... Oh, Douglas. Hi, Douglas. And I think... Oh, and the Tech Knight. All right. So, awesome. All right, so as I said, we're going to try to have Neko, excuse me. I keep saying Neko. Neko chase this mouse instead of the cursor. So we're going to have to figure out where the click is of the mouse on the window. So let's see how we can do that. I'm going to have to actually look this up, because I think what you have to do is capture an event, probably for the window. And see, this is one of the reasons why I figure these things out before I do the stream, so that I'm not having to look things up and bore people with me looking at a reference book. But it is what it is. So this is part of live streaming when you're coding, is sometimes you're watching somebody think or look in a book. So let's look under mouse or cursor. I think we want to look under mouse. I am using the HyperCard 2.2, the complete HyperCard 2.2 handbook by Danny Goodman. It's a very good reference. I've mentioned it several times. If you can get a copy of it, it's not available digitally, You have to actually find a copy to buy. Mouse down message. So we probably want, typically use mouse up. So let's take a look at mouse up. Mouse double click, mouse within, mouse leave, mouse enter. Mouse up. So I think we use, let's use the card. So we go to the card object, go to the script for that. That's where the general code is. When you open the card, it sets some global variables and stuff. So we're going to do, it's also where the on idle is done. We're going to do on mouse up here. All right. Riffas. There's no riffas in HyperCard. Thank God, too. Okay. So what do we want to do when the mouse is up? Let's do... we need to look for the location of the mouse. So let's have a variable called the location. So we're going to put is it the mouse loc? There's a special routine that tells you where the mouse is. Oh, I probably have code already looking for it here. Let's get out of this script. We're going to get into the cat script. Okay. And in the code where the cat chases the mouse, so this is the location of put the mouse H and the mouse V. Okay. So that's what I was using. So I could use these. So let's copy that. Let's go back to the card info. Yeah, it's supposed to be natural language scripting. The problem is that in English there's 16 ways of saying the same thing. So one of the things that happens is that you forget, oh, how do you actually put something into something or set something to something, things like that. So what we want to do is put the mouse H we don't need a location variable. And I'm going to do the mouse H, the mouse Y, B. So it's horizontal and vertical. And then we're going to have to, these are going to have to be global. right? Now, is that mouse? Yeah, mouse H, mouse V. Because that's where we want the mouse to show up, literally. So I want these to be global, and to reference globals, you have to have the global keyword, or it won't work. It'll consider them local variables if you do that. Okay, so we're going to, on the mouse up, we'll set these values. That doesn't really pass that event onto the cat. So we're going to have a message that we send to the cat to tell it that the mouse has appeared somewhere so it can chase it. So what we're going to do, you see how we have the send idle to card button Neko? That is how you send a message to an object in HyperCard. You could also do function calls. I like using the messaging structure because you can pass messages on, and there's lots of things you can do with messages. So we're going to do something like that. We're going to send a message. What do we want for the message? Mouse. Yeah, I struggle here. If I were writing this in C, hey, see you later, Retro Techie. Thanks for dropping in. You would use underscores instead of spaces for this. I don't like using spaces in messages. Mouse location. We could. That's a valid message, but I don't like doing that. Let's just do mouse loc to card button Neko. Alright, so we have these globals. Now you can send parameters with a message too, I believe, although I haven't done it, so I'm going to look that up because that would be a little cleaner. Instead of referencing a global, the nice thing about a global is that you can reference it with other code. What if we wanted to do something else with the mouse's location? So let's just leave it there for now. We can always refactor it later and remove it if we don't need it. So keep it simple. So we have something when this happens. So let's go ahead and do this. We're going to get into the cat script. Okay. Now I have where you chase the mouse. So you have to determine the mouse location. So we have globals now. And if I do G, I believe I did camel case here. No, I didn't, did I? Well, I don't remember. I'll go back and look. Script. Nope, it's not the mouse script, sorry. Card script. I did do hump case. Okay, so it's G uppercase M. Go back to the cat. We're going to jump down to chase mouse. Okay, so that's right. So now, instead of the location of the mouse click, we're going to use this global variable. So this code should work just fine. We still have to have the message that we're sending. Oh yeah, all the messages are like this. So I want to go back and change it so that it's consistent. To do card info script. I keep forgetting that this is not it's a backspace button, not a delete button. Go mouse look. And I like to be verbose when I do these things. So I'm going to change it. Yes, we're going to go back. Okay. So let's put this routine near the chase mouse. Yeah. So on that message, fat fingered. We're going to do this. So when we receive this message, we got to do something. So we've clicked. That means we need to put the mouse at this location. Okay. And that is this. So we need to, oh, we didn't name our icon yet, so let's go back and do that. Oh, I did. I called it mouse. Sorry. This is what it's like watching somebody almost 60 program. It's like you forget what you're doing, and then you have to go back and look it up again. So I apologize. When I was younger, I would have remembered all this stuff off the top of my head, and I wouldn't be going back and forth so much. Okay, so we need to put the mouse at this location, and then we need to have Neko chase the mouse. And how is that done here? So currently you click on the cat and it does this. It says if Neko is sleeping or awake, then you chase the mouse. Okay, so if they're already chasing the mouse, you don't need to chase the mouse. But I think we just want to chase the mouse. So we're going to do that. Oh. Okay, so we have a mouse icon. So we have to set the location of that mouse. And I'm trying to remember how you do that. That's the animation loop. Oh, set the location. See, remember how I said, is the syntax put the location or put the value of it into the location of it's set. So, and me is a special variable for the object that you are working with. So we should be able to use that. Put the location of, so we want to create a location, set the location of me to, now a location is actually a list, and that's done in text. So what you have to do is put, oh, we have to reference the globals, and I didn't do that. So let's make sure we do that. Global, let's see, G, mouse, mouse H, global, G, mouse, V. And did I do that down here? I probably didn't. See, I would have had an error. It wouldn't have had those. So, got to do those globals. G, mouse, H, global. Isn't this exciting? Okay. So the location is two numbers separated by a comma, and I always forget, is it horizontal and then vertical, or is it vertical and horizontal? So in the interest of getting this right, we're going to look at the set the location of me to new X and new Y. Okay, X is the horizontal axis. So we want horizontal first. So we want G, mouse, H, and we want to concatenate it. G, mouse, V. The parentheses will force it to actually do the evaluation so that it doesn't, HyperCard is a little funny. If you don't put parentheses around this, it might flake out and try to just take one value and parse it incorrectly and say, oh, what's the rest of this stuff over here? Syntax error. So, idiosyncrasy of HyperCard. I'm going to look at the chat here and see what's going on. So, what do we got for conversations here? Riffas, no. Riffas, yes. Wow, you did a 6-hour video, K-Mac? My brain would be mush at the end of 6 hours of that. Streaming in my sleep. One-hour flight from home to Miami, 2-hour train ride to West Palm Beach area. That's not terrible. You must get expensive flying, though. Okay, so do we have enough here to actually try it and see what happens? Let's give it a try. All right. The on-card event only happens when you start a card. Oh, yeah, we got to change this back so that it's not in debug anymore. So I think this might work. I probably should hide the mouse until I click somewhere so it just appears, but we can fix that later. All right, I'm gonna go back and into the card again just to get it reset. Ha! Expected a variable name but found into. And that is because into as one word is not right. I don't think so. Anyway. No, it is. So what have I got wrong there? Man, I lost track of where it was at. Oh yeah, it was right here. I think that's the problem. The is a special keyword that is used for some things, but not everything. And I think that's the case here. This is, again, it's trying to be English, but it's not quite English. So let's try that again. Okay, so what I'm doing is teleporting the cat. That is not what I wanted. And I know exactly what I did. We want me refers to the cat, not the mouse. So we don't want the cat to move to the location. We want the mouse to move to the location. This isn't me. This is location of card, button, mouse. All right, there we go. And the cat is chasing where the mouse is and finds it and plays with it and goes to sleep. Now, if you look at the Palm Pilot game, the mouse disappears until you click on it again because the cat eats the mouse. Can this script also do Neko wafers? I suppose it could. The fact that you bring this up, there's variants of this where it's a dog chasing a cat, things like that. So, all right, so that works, but we don't have an animated mouse. It's pretty static. Now I can't, when the cat is in the middle of an animation, the mouse can't move. So that's a limitation. Because I clicked over here, you can't hear the click probably, but because the cat is in the middle of doing something, it doesn't get interrupted. But hey, you know, it's a work in progress. Also, you notice that depending on which direction the cat comes from, the mouse position is a little bit off. And that's because I've got this kind of region around the point that you're supposed to get to. And I probably should adjust it so the cat goes a little farther up so they, you know, like when he's playing around with a mouse, he's actually playing with a mouse. So there's some idiosyncrasies about it, but basically it works. Okay, so let's think of some refinements. We need to animate the mouse. Okay, so and the way we do that is we create more mice. We go up here and we create a new icon. And go back over to my GIF converter. Nope, we don't want GIF converter. We want res edit. Okay, so we had the one mouse there. Here's the second mouse. So let's copy that. Okay, so we've got a mouse there, but we don't want it there. We want it centered, something like that. Okay. Now we got two of them. I didn't name this one. You could refer to them by the ID number in the code, but that gets a little hard. So we've got two mice. Let's do another one. New icon. Go back over to res edit. We'll grab the third mouse. Oh, wait a minute. Mouse 3. I didn't want to close that yet. New icon. Well, at least you don't have to watch me painstakingly create these like I did when I first created them. Oh, wait a minute. Ah, that's right. You can double click the what do you call that? The select, and it selects the whole thing. You can also use keyboard shortcuts. So we'll put them there. Ah! What did I do? No. Ah, shoot. what am I at about there? That's 4. That's 5. And we want to go back to res edit. Now 6. Alright, so we got 6 mice. Alright, so how do we do this? So we have our mouse, and there's a couple ways we could do it. One way would be to deal with it with the cat, but I like to keep things object oriented, and the way the cat animates is by having a message sent to it to tell it to do things. It has the idle event sent to it, so it can do something on a loop in the idle. So let's do that. That way we have a mouse that operates independently of the cat. Alright, so what we're going to do is go back to the card. Now this is a limitation of HyperCard. Not all objects get the idle event, so you have to actually pass it to it. So on idle, we're going to send it idle to card button mouse. So that way it can receive the idle event. And we go into the cat script. So if we look for the idle event, it essentially goes through and does all the animation for the cat. And it has to look at several things. What's the current state of the cat? There's a state tick, whether we're in debug or not. Oops, don't want to debug. Yeah. We can get rid of that. That was an experiment that didn't work. So we're going to just copy all this, because it's going to be very similar for the mouse. Now it automatically throws mouse up in there. We don't need mouse up. We're just going to do our idle event. And instead of the cat, we're going to have the mouse go through actions. So we're going to have a global mouse state. We're probably going to have to create a Neko state tick. Debug should be the same. The tick interval, that's how frequently you want to have animation occur. I'm going to leave that the same. Should be the same for both icons. So we're going to put the mouse state tick into the card field. Mouse state tick of card Neko. Okay, it's on the right card, so that's good. We're gonna put Gmouse, not mouse, mouse, into card field mouse state. The ticks minus G mouse state tick to card field mouse tick diff. The location of the card button mouse into card field mouse loc. This is all debugging stuff. The mouse loc. Okay, this is where I was keeping track of where the mouse cursor is, but what we're going to do is put the loc. Oh yeah, we're doing it right up here. Okay, so this is redundant. Mouse state tick is greater than the interval. Check current state action. Mouse is, the mouse doesn't sleep, but we'll just do mouse sleep. We'll just do it. Mouse is awake, then mouse awake. If mouse is running, we're not going to have the mouse chase, we're going to have the mouse run. Oops. So this state was to have the cat chase the mouse. So it might be useful to have mouse behaviors, like is the mouse hiding? That means Neko wouldn't know where the mouse is. It'd be hunting for the mouse. You know, there's lots of things we could do. So this would be mouse run away or something. You know, maybe the mouse could change its location. Okay, not classic, the classic way that this app worked, but what the heck. Okay, so we're going to need on mouse sleep and mouse sleep on mouse awake and mouse awake. So programming is a lot of tedious typing in of stuff. What you're doing is you're building a giant castle and you're concentrating on one of the tiles on a turret and thinking about the entire castle at the same time. So this is mouse run away. So I'm thinking about stuff I want to do in the future, and trying not to go down the rabbit hole of coding for it. But I want these to exist so it's not going to error out. You know, and you could do things like have it, you know, put a message up and say, hey, sleeping, or something like that, just as a reminder of how the code works. All right, so we need a global mouse. So we need a global mouse and a mouse state tick. So we need these two variables defined. So we'll save that. We're going to go back to the card script, and we are going to define those globals. So we have a global mouse and a mouse state tick. Oh yeah, the mouse cursor was something I was doing when I was trying to use the cursor to do it. So don't really have to worry about it. I'll clean it up later. So this needs a to do get rid of mouse cursor logic. Okay. Put 0 into G mouse state tick. Initial value. Put sleeping into G mouse. Now we don't need a global mouse specific tick interval, so I think we're good there. All right. So going back to here. Actually, let's go back to the cat and look at the code for animation for the cat. So what happens with the cat is that it has to, so here's the sleeping animation for Neko. You check to see if the icon is a particular ID so that you can flip between it and the other one. Unfortunately, you can't reference what the icon of me is by name, which would be nice and convenient. You have to do it by ID number. So let's, the mouse sleeping, I don't have a sleeping icon or anything, but let's just go ahead and copy this code. Okay. So mouse, should give the mouse a name other than mouse. I mean, the cat's got a name. Okay, the icon ID is not going to be that, and it's mouse 1. I will never get used to the way the delete button works in Apple software. And this is mouse 2. Is not sleeping. So you want him to be sleeping. Okay. Okay. So I need to figure out what the ID of mouse 2 is. Mouse 1, mouse 2 is 18056. Everybody remember that number. One 8056, right? Okay. So if it's we're going to have it flip between mouse 1 and mouse 2. And if it's awake, we should have it go through all of them. So that should be pretty simple. We could just have it loop through them. We look at the cat. You'll see it does things like this. You know, I refer to each one. Now the nice thing is they're numbered. So it's mouse 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I could actually do a loop and just construct it and say, do it. And then you have a wait. So let's do this. Let's have, we're going to copy this. And we're going to do this as a loop. So let's get in the mouse script. And in this one, we got to copy some of the same global stuff. We're not going to worry about what the icon is currently set to. We do have to do this stuff. So there is some redundant code here, but it's not too much. Okay. It's not awake. Say it's awake. We're gonna do a loop. So we're gonna do repeat. Loops in HyperCard are all repeat. So we repeat while, repeat with. So we're repeating with. Do G. No, not G. The icon equals 1, 2, 6. There's 6 icons. We numbered them that way. So we can do that. We can set the icon of me to mouse and the icon. Okay, now this is another case where you want to make sure this gets resolved correctly, so you put parentheses around it so that it'll do the expression inside. We're going to wait 50, and then we're going to end repeat. So this will only do it once. It will go through and have the mouse fiddle around. Don't know what I'm going to do for runaway. It should randomly move to a new location, I guess. So, but we're going to do that. We're going to do that another time. To do, it's already 10 o'clock. To do, let's see, teleport to random location. once in a great while. Okay. So we have a teleporting mouse. Maybe I should do a teleportation animation and have them fade out. That would be kind of neat. It could go boop. I don't know. Okay, so awake has stuff in it. Sleeping has something in it. Well, let's see what happens. Ha! There is no card field. Yes, we did not create the card fields. So I have to go to the card level. Oh yeah, it's going to keep. I don't want it to do that. I need to turn debugging on. True. Yes. Yes, yes, I know. All right. So I need to create some fields. Let's see. So this is actually you need to edit some fields. That's Neko's state. Or Neko's. Well, that's going to be too long. What we're going to do is move these things down a little bit. Yeah, you know what? In the interest of time, I could make it cleaner later. Let's just create the fields so that we've got them. So this one was mouse ticks. Let's just call it the ticks. I think that's what it's called. Oh, it's state tick. And so not 2 underscores. All right. What else did we need? I have forgotten what the other fields were. Oops. So this is another case of Eric can't remember what he wrote. Okay, so mouse state tick, we need mouse state. What else did we need? Programming is not very exciting. Mouse state tick, mouse state, mouse tick diff. We need that one. Mouse tick diff. And of course, it's longer than we're going to have to move everything over. I am not going to make you watch me move everything over. We'll just do this for now. I notice that I've got ticks with a K and ticks without. Okay, I think that will work. So let's go to the card info and change it back from debug. Now that hasn't done anything to the variable because we have to move. Okay, so our mouse is animating a little bit here and only going between two states. So I'm pretty sure that that is the sleeping animation that we created. You notice that he lifts up a little bit. That's because I didn't get the positioning just right with the icon, but I can fix that later. The cat's also got that problem. Okay, so if we click somewhere, he appears over here. He's still sleeping because I don't have it doing anything. So we don't have anything that forces him to be awake. But it's also 10:13. I've been going at it for over an hour. And I think this is enough for tonight. So there you go. That's what it's like to code this stuff. You know, I had a pretty good idea of what I was going to do already because I'd already done it with a cat. Or it would have taken even longer for me to do it because I'd be trying to figure out everything. Everybody, I hope you had a nice Pi Day. Please look up all the MARCHintosh content that's out there and watch it. There's a lot of good stuff going on. And also look for the video that I have called Major Award that's out there in my on my channel, and make a comment on there so that you can get in the contest for a MARCHintosh t-shirt. Excuse me. So I guess that's about it for tonight. Thanks everybody that came out. You had a sick Pi Day. I hope sick means it was awesome. I don't know if that's the bad sick. Oh, I'm sorry. Well, I hope you have a better after Pi Day. Pi Day +1. Anyway, I hope you get better, Jeremy. It sucks being sick. I actually missed part of work this morning because I wasn't feeling well. So I hear you. Let's see what else. I'll probably do another HyperCard video, or rather the next live thing is going to be the inventory, the vintage inventory app. So that's a simpler stack because it's really just information and you create cards for each item. Yeah, Revenge of the 5th. Is that what it is tomorrow? No. That's March the 5th. After March the 4th. I don't know. I can't remember this stuff. Anyway. Hey, Dave. I was just wrapping up. So, sorry if you missed it. Anyway, the next live stream I'm going to do, Tuesday seems to be kind of my day to do this. So probably next Tuesday, I'm going to pull out, I've been playing around with just doing a simple stack for tracking all of your vintage computers and stuff. So you can, pick things like which manufacturer it is. Did you remove the battery? Just track stuff like the state of the machine and, maybe where you stored it. If you've got someone like Adam's got a storage facility plus, his basement and all this other places he keeps stuff. So, having a location on there, I'd like to work in where you could have a picture stored of the item. There's a lot of possibilities for something like that. We could do it in a HyperCard stack. Do it in such a way that you could, if we updated the manufacturing list, you could import it in. You could run reports and print them out. And the nice thing is if you got the right tools, you can create a PDF, and that way it's transferable to another computer. So there's a lot of things we could do with a stack like that. I think it would be kind of a fun thing to use HyperCard for. So a lot more interesting than a spreadsheet. So anyway, night everybody. Thanks for coming out. And I will see you in the next video.